Have you ever made a plan about how you're going to save your money, where it'll be invested, and what specific items you'll purchase with it? I have. Have you then gone completely strayed from the script and decided to spend on whatever you want, whenever you want? I have. Sometimes we do mindlessly spend. We're human after all. Not all of us have the power of restraint. But the least you can do in that situation is be aware that having financial freedom may not be your top priority. The moment I realized that was the moment I understood I know absolutely nothing about money management. It wasn't until I started abiding by the following rules that I had a glimpse of financial freedom. You too can change your life around and grow your bank balance by following these relatively simple tips. 1. Be financially disciplined. So last year, I had this job that really paid well, and according to my calculations, I only needed 30% of it to spend on everything I wanted, like shoes, clothes, outings, etc., and save the rest. I was so pleased with myself that I couldn't deny the fact that that was going to be my best year. Well, after I got paid, I found myself spending more than what I had initially planned for, and by the time I was getting paid again, I only had 40% left. I was so disappointed, but on careful analysis, I discovered I wasn't disciplined with money. Being disciplined in your finances means that you have to maintain the balance between income, investments, and spending. If you do all this right, eventually you'll have saved a lot of money. I understand it's not easy to save money from a fixed income because along the way, there'll be bills that pop up, be it hospitals or TV subscriptions. Paying for them is definitely a must, but still, you have to be disciplined in the sense that you avoid spending your money on all the good stuff you see. I know for a fact that there's no day I left out a good sneaker I found online if I could afford them. To be honest, this was a stupid move, because when you're dependent on monthly payments, being a spendthrift is the worst thing you could do. Being disciplined also means that you avoid debt by all means. I get that sometimes we need something so badly that we end up getting a loan. It sure feels good at the moment, but later on regret always kicks in when you're calculating how to spend your salary, only to remember the debt you owe someone. 2. Make a budget and start saving. Did you know that it only takes 25 days to create a very good budget? All you need to do is track all your expenses for this month as you note them down. After you're absolutely sure of what you need to spend each month, you can then plan your budget. In your budget, you should also include saving your money. Personally, I use the 50-30-20 rule to make my budget, which I do recommend you try out. It simply means that 50% goes to essentials, 30% goes to wants, and 20% goes to saving or investment. I've been saving my money for so long that I've come to realize that it's not good to have your money idling around. That is why I also advise you to choose high-yield savings accounts. The reason for this is that if you want to be wealthy someday, you should take advantage of any compounding opportunity that comes your way. You see, the rich didn't just get rich by stacking their money on every payday. They also made their money work for them. I am talking about a high-yielding savings account. Despite the fact that money in this account compounds slowly, it's definitely a start. So what are you waiting for? Go make a budget. Then start saving. 3. Frame your financial goal. Great, I now have a savings account. What next, I hear you say? To which I reply, it's time to frame your financial goals. There's no point in just saving for the sake of saving. You need goals for which you are saving. Not just that, you need to specify how long it will take you to save up to that goal, and exactly how much you will need. In order to do this, it's best to put your goals into 3 categories: short, medium, and long term. The titles sort of give it away. By doing this, you now have a bigger picture in mind with regards to your savings account. Make sure you actually put pen to paper or finger to keyboard, if you're a tech whiz like me, to note down these goals. So many of us simply have these goals in mind but without any specifics. There's no use for this ambiguity. Top tip: make sure you calculate your finances according to the rate of inflation. How upsetting would it be to have a goal priced at today's market, only to then learn you are actually behind by $1 million. 4. Invest in the right instruments. A few years ago, I noticed that most of my friends got pretty rich from Forex trading. This made me so jealous that I decided to start as well. So the moment I got paid, I rushed to open a Forex trading account. For a while, I saw positive results. My money was growing, and my friends were reaping the benefits too. I started making lists in my head of all the things I'd become a millionaire, which obviously wasn't a long while away. But as with every great story, there was a drop. I lost all my money. My friends lost theirs too. While I did lose all my money and some of my sanity, I did gain a lot from this experience. I learned that one should only invest in what they know. On top of this, I was taught that someone who has just started earning money shouldn't jump into trading and investing. Instead, they should keep their short-term goals in debt, long-term goals in equity, and medium-term goals in both. This is until they've fully comprehended the concept of liquidity, returns, and tax liability. The reason for this is that debt provides you with short-term capital security, and equity provides you with the highest long-term returns. Now, if you have grasped the understanding of the aforementioned concepts, you would be wise to rely on the guidance of an expert in this field. Don't be naive like me, and follow your friends and family because they seemingly have short-term success. 5. Maximize tax savings. It is genuinely very surprising how tax bills can ruin your day. Now, if you're a young earner, unless you're already making millions, this does not concern you. But I'd still encourage you to learn about this so as to raise your awareness. There are a number of ways you can maximize your tax savings. You can, for example, tweak your W-4 in the US. This is a form you give your employer telling them how much tax to withhold on each paycheck. You can also save money in your 401k account. This will transfer a fixed percentage of your salary into your account each month. The goal is to have less taxable income so that you pay less tax. Another thing you can do is contribute to your IRA, fund your FSA, or simply save for college or any other higher education. All of these ways ensure you pay less in tax, thereby keeping more money in your pocket. 6. Go for the right insurance. While it is true that the main job of an insurance is to cover your risks instead of offering returns, but did you know you'd manage to save a lot of bucks if you had insurance cover? Let's say you have an insurance cover for your house, and unfortunately a fire breaks out. The insurance company will cover all the expenses, which will leave your hard-earned money untouched. One advantage of long-term insurance coverage is that you pay very small amounts of premiums. The key is to take your time. You'll need an insurance for almost everything you own: your house, a car, even your being. Take your time to read all the available insurances, and find the ones which not only align with your goals, but also which has your back through tough times. 7. Get a side hustle. If you stay with your 9-to-5 job, you might eventually earn enough money to identify as rich. I'm adding a strong emphasis on both might and eventually. Do with that what you will. The point I'm trying to make is that one source of income is not enough to grow your wealth. Aside from invest and/or trading, you should also start looking into a side hustle. This could be writing and selling ebooks on a topic you know a lot about, or diving into your passion for painting and selling your art. The idea is to have another source of income which can further be added to your savings account or even invested. This is the biggest lesson one can learn from the most successful people out there. They never put all their eggs in one basket. Find something you're passionate about and monetize it. 8. Invest in potentially successful business. I have a friend who is extremely business savvy. In fact, I recall once telling him that if he were to ever start a business, I'd invest in it right away. A couple months ago, he called me, announcing he had started a firm. And no prizes for guessing this. You best believe I invested, making me a silent partner. This was one of the best decisions I've made so far. Now, I know that I could blindingly trust his business sense because I've known him for so long. I've watched his every business move and listened to all of his financial advice. He knows what he's talking about. So even though I'm advising you to invest in a successful business, I'm also warning you to do your due diligence. Once you come about a business that is extremely successful, invest in it and watch your bank balance grow. Once you've mastered the art of financial discipline, sit down and thoroughly go through all the various ways you can make money, on top of your 9-to-5. The golden equation of financial abundance is to have multiple streams of income, along with self-control over your purchases. More importantly, make sure you have goals of varying degrees that you will work towards. After all, There's no point in just multiplying money for the sake of having it. You must be able to enjoy your hard-earned money as well. Well, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. With that said, have a great day, and see you in the next one.